Hey, it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, My Asexual Life. Subscribe and hit the bell icon. So have you ever been in a situation where you felt you're just so weird, so strange that no one understands you? And you feel a bit like an outcast. You feel like an outsider from maybe your family or people at school or college or uni or work. Maybe you just feel that you don't fit into groups. And there's something really different about you, but you maybe can't even put your finger on it. But then you begin to notice more and more the differences between you and other people. And this maybe sends you into a bit of a panic, into a bit of worry, or just feeling very disconnected from people. I understand how that feels because I've felt in my life that I'm really different. Even before I knew I was asexual in 2014, I just knew I was different. I was different at school. I didn't fit in. I used to have people trying to pick fights with me. I wouldn't fight with them. I used to have people talk about sex, sexual stuff. And I was like, okay. And there's people that I thought just didn't really understand my intelligence. They didn't really see me. And that can be really difficult. Does that ever stop for me? Sometimes, yes, in some ways. Like, I do get recognition now for my achievements. I get recognition for my beauty, and I get recognition in certain elements of my life. But I have to tell you something. And that something is not everyone is going to understand you or see the beauty in your difference. Because if they are very robotic, if they're going along living life like the majority of people are, they won't then be able to make sense of someone who's very different to their own kind, to them, to the 9 to 5, plodding along, doing a job, just going along, doing what they're doing. They won't be able to see your beauty in your difference if they don't understand how to be their true authentic self and stand in their personal power of being different. And I want you to know right now that your difference is your beauty. We're going to Diary Confessions of a Hyperromantic Asexual, 78 Life Lessons to Lace Your Life, my best-selling book. Life Lesson 49. Always remember your difference is your beauty. So don't let anyone else take your beauty away from you. It's precious and rare. And so in the mix-up of life, we can get very disheartened when people can't see our beauty for what it is because they can't understand our differences. But that's just because the majority of the world is living on autopilot. They're living an inauthentic life where they are really different, but instead of letting their differences out and be shown to the outside world, they live in fear and scarcity. They live very insular. They live like within themselves, and they're so frightened of what everyone else will think that they try to fit into the norms of society when really everyone's so different. We've all got different DNA, we've all got different backgrounds, we've all had different experiences in life, we've all gained different skills and knowledge because of the situations we've been through, because of the jobs we've been in, because of the people we've been around. And all these different things make up different parts of our identity. And we need to decide what parts of those of us is our true core identity and what is the identity that other people have given us. Because a lot of people are scared to get out their comfort zone. A lot of people are playing small. A lot of people are so scared of what others think of them that they don't fully show their gorgeous, spectacular beauty. I don't follow the crowd. There are things I do, even in terms of book publishing, that's very different to what other people do. There's things that I like to try out. There's creative things I like to do because I just feel intuitively I need to do them. And if you are very in tune with who you are, often you will have an intuition, an inner knowing of what's right for you. And it's your job in your self-love to be able to recognize your wants, your own needs, your desires that you as your soul being needs, not what everyone else wants you to be. People are uncomfortable about what they don't know and what they don't understand, which is why they feel uncomfortable, or some people do, not everyone, about asexuality. Asexuality is something that's unknown to a lot of people. It's an enigma, it's a puzzle. It's illogical to a lot of people when they have strong sexual attraction, strong sexual desires, and they've been brought up to believe that that is the way of being. But we know as asexuals, and people know of other sexual identities, that heterosexuality is not the only sexuality, and not everyone experiences sexual attraction in the same way. And for asexuals, many of us don't experience any sexual attraction whatsoever. This doesn't mean we're broken. This doesn't mean there's something wrong with us that needs fixing. It doesn't mean to say there's a disorder. It means we're different. And we should be embracing those different moments, those different aspects of us, those differences in our sexuality to the rest of the world population. People's differences are their beauties, are their specialisms, are their gorgeousness, parts of themselves, because no one is the same as you. No one's the same as anyone. There are a lot of people going out there into the world thinking they're heterosexual when actually they aren't heterosexual. Or there's some people that are heterosexual, but for example, biromantic. And people just think, oh, I'm heterosexual, so I'm attracted sexually to the other, the opposite gender. But they might be biromantic, where they're romantically attracted to two genders. But because of the way society is set up to make you think there's just one sexuality, which we know there's not, but it's set up to view heterosexuality, and people frown if you like different sexualities. And romanticism is coupled usually with sexual attraction. It's not usually separate, and this is why it's so hard for people to even understand themselves or recognize they might be sexually attracted to one gender, but biromantically attracted to two. They might have sexual attraction to the opposite gender, but be romantically attracted to the opposite gender and their own gender. And so when we start to decouple different types of attractions is when we can start to understand ourselves better and other people and the world around us. There is loads of people, I'm sure, right now in the world that have multiple different types of attractions going on, but they just don't understand that. Because when I thought I was heterosexual for years, I just thought the whole thing was clumped together, like aesthetic attraction, romantic attraction, sexual attraction. I kind of thought it was all to do with sexual attraction. And yes, sure, I felt romance and an attraction for the way a person looks, but I kind of thought that was all part of sexual attraction. I didn't know that they were all separate things. But since discovering I'm asexual in 2014, my asexual journey and own identity journey, I was able to discover all these different types of attractions: emotional attraction, sensual attraction, intelligence attraction, clothes attraction, all these different types of attractions. And whatever way you feel attraction is your own unique, beautiful makeup of your attractions that make up you as a person. So instead of running away from who we truly are, we need to lean into who we truly are. Sometimes that requires exploration, self-exploration, exploration with other people. And sometimes we just have to sit with ourselves long enough to understand ourselves better. We need to be able to be on our own, to think for ourselves, to do for ourselves, but also to share with others how we really are affected by things, how we like things, how we experience things, because our differences aren't something that we should be ashamed of and fearful of. They're something that we should embrace within ourselves with a great sense of admiration that, wow, I'm so different. I'm not like every other person on the planet. This means I'm unique. This means I'm special. And yes, it means everyone's got their own specialism about them, their own uniqueness about them. And so we should be thinking that our differences are what makes us beautiful. All the parts of our story, the pain, the tragedy, the difficult circumstances, all of these coupled with our highlights and our enthusiasm and our excitement and beautiful spontaneous memories and our memories of having goals and reaching those goals and achieving them and achieving goals we never thought possible, right? All of these types of things, they all make up our beauty because we differently experience all these things. Another way of putting it is we experience all these things differently, right? Because we are different. No two people are going to have the same experience identically. So instead of shunning ourselves or other people for their differences, we need to embrace the fact that everyone's different. Everyone has their own viewpoint in life, and people's perspectives are valid. We also need to understand that our differences are okay. And it's okay to show other people our differences. It's not our job to force other people to like our differences. It's not our job to go around spending hours convincing other people that it's okay that we're different. It's not our job to be pushing on other people our differences mean we're better than someone else, because they don't. Our differences mean we are uniquely beautiful in and of ourselves. Our differences mean that we have a different trajectory in life to everyone else. Our differences mean that we can see things in unique and special ways. I actually believe the more different you are, the more you stand out from the crowd. If you take a lot of people who are in the entrepreneur space, for example, who are influencers, but people who have not just been doing it a little while, but people who've been online for a long time, helping other people. If you look at those, a lot of them have got distinct differences to the majority of the population. There's something special about them, something different about them, there's something that makes them uniquely placed to help the people they do. And that's not because they're the same as everyone else. That's because they are different. Because you can't uniquely help other people if you're not unique, if you're not different. And differences can be in hair color, clothes, eye color, facial features, physical features. They can be in terms of mental capacity or the way our mind processes things. Differences can be in the way we express ourselves and communicate with others. Differences can be just how we see things. Differences can be how we logic things out or how we creatively work things out. Differences can be multitude of things. It can just be that sometimes you do something that doesn't make sense to everyone else, but it makes sense to you, or you just feel inside you that you have to follow your path. This is what asexuals often have in common with entrepreneurs. We know we're different and we're born for something different. And you are born to be different. And your difference is your beauty. So always remember that and embrace it. Don't let anyone put you down and keep you down. Right? You can't stop someone putting you down in terms of them trying to do that and dismiss your feelings. But what you can do is stick up for yourself, advocate for yourself, be a blessing to yourself, be your own cheerleader and your own best friend. And don't hang around with people who are naysayers, haters, belittling you, putting you down. These people are very insecure people who have nothing better to do with their time than try and make your life a misery. And that's because they're not embracing their differences. They're not saying, "Hey, I'm different." They're just saying, "Hey, I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like this. I don't like that." But the people that say that about you are the people that are actually watching you the most, keeping their eye on you the most, looking at you the most, admiring you the most, being jealous probably of you the most, being insecure because you are doing stuff in your life that they're not doing because they're not being their authentic self. And they want to pick fault with you and how you look and what you're doing because they want to make a show of you because they want to try and put you down to make themselves feel bad. These type of people are not good people, right? So we need to ignore these type of people, block them, get them out of our lives so we can focus on making a difference in the world as we are, as our true authentic self, in our own personal power and identity. Your core beliefs about your identity often come from a multitude of things, such as your job, such as friends, families, co-workers, peers, people you just come into contact with in daily life. Identity can be shaped by different music you listen to, different films you watch, what you consume. It can be shaped by your connection to others, your connection to the world, your connection to the universe. It can be shaped by your hobbies and interests. It can be shaped by your experiences, the skills you've gained, the knowledge you've gained over the years. It can be shaped by multitude and multiple things outside of yourself. But what we must do is find our true identity, our core self identity of how we view ourselves. And we must get to know ourselves because sometimes people are saying things about us that aren't actually true, that are putting us down on purpose because they are not comfortable with who we are. They don't like the fact we're different to them. And they want to make us compliant with their wills, their needs, their wishes, their wants, to make us be under their control. What we must do is take time to reflect on what we truly want in our life, what we truly like, we truly dislike, what makes us joyous, what makes us happy, what makes us sad, what makes us mad. And we need to focus on all the positive things that are going to bring the best outcome for us in our own life, not what other people want for us or want us to be, but our own life. We have to think, how am I different? Why am I different? And what can I do to embrace my differences and to truly live into them and to find more beautiful differences within myself, more beautiful nuances, more beautiful, quirky things. So, therefore, I can start to feel good about myself. If you've been put down for being different, then I know this is going to be really hard for you to do. But don't forget, the people that put you down about being different are the ones that want to make you compliant with who they want you to be. They don't want you to be yourself. They want you to be what they want you to be, so that they do not have to deal with the fact that you are different, that you lead your own life, that you're on your own path, that you don't actually need them to make you happy, to be you, to live, to flourish, to shine. So go out into the world and make yourself shine by being the beautiful, different being that you are, the special, different being that you are. I want you to just think back now in your life to how many people try to make you something you're not, try to push you into being the thing you weren't, just to please them, just to pacify them, just to make them comfortable, to make them feel good, without any regard for your own feelings, what you want, what you need, what you desire, and what's good for you. I want you to really lean into what you want, and I want you to go for what you want in life. Don't be apologetic for who you are, be unapologetically you. Don't be ashamed of who you are, be brave and a fierce warrior within you. Show the world what you're made of, because the world needs you. The world needs things that are beautiful and different right now, not the same as everyone else. That gets very boring very quickly. But being different can never be boring because there's always beautiful nuances and quirkiness to it. There's always an excitement. There's always a special meaning for special, nuanced individuals, different individuals. You can say we're all different, and we are, but not everyone embraces those differences. Some people try to act like a chameleon and be like everyone else around them. So you don't really notice so much their differences. You just notice something's off and something's weird about them in an unweird way. I was going to say weird as in a not a good weird way, something's weird about them because they're pretending to be something they're not. They're changing to their environment, changing to whoever's around them, instead of saying this is me and I'm the same wherever you see me. I'm the same in real life, I'm the same in online, I'm the same in person, I'm the same whether I choose to speak to this person, that person. I'm very steadfast and strong. I understand myself and I am this person, and I'm proud to be this person. I'm proud to be me. For more advice and life lessons like this, go to Amazon and get a copy of Diary Confessions of a Hyperromantic 78 Life Lessons to Ace Your Life. And remember this life lesson that I started with. Always remember your difference is your beauty. So don't let anyone take your beauty away from you. It's precious and rare. Grab a copy of this book on Amazon and also Asexual Perspectives if you want to understand asexuality more. I'll see you soon next video live stream. Lots of love. Take care. Thumbs up if you like this video. And don't forget to subscribe, like I said, and hit the bell icon. Lots of love.